It looks as if I have been kicked off of PayPal. Now, let me be a little more precise here. This is my business account, the one that is tied to my LLC. And this is the one that we've used for like banned transactions. Also, my website that replaced Patreon. We use the PayPal transactions are tied to that as well. And when that was the plan, the upcoming comic book company website, that PayPal was going to be tied to this one. And I got this notification that was on my account, and I'm in it right here that you can kind of see. And I click on it. It says notification says some of your products or services are in violation of the PayPal acceptable use policy. As a result, you can no longer do business with PayPal. I'm like, okay, what's that? You click see details and you get this. And basically all it does is it tells you that, you can't use PayPal anymore. And it's this acceptable use policy, which is just a typical vague sort of policy. And it says that I'm permanently limited. And so I called them. I called PayPal. I set in a little reminder on my account to call them today. And I called them, and the first person that I spoke with just told me what I already knew. Second person I spoke with that they supposedly escalated, they couldn't see why it was suspended or anything. And they had to put in this. So this is what she told me. They send this this internal ticket. I don't see that. So the person whose account has been limited cannot see that at all. I cannot see it. I have no update or anything. They say basically if they, let's say, reopen my account, then I will get a notification via email on that. So they still haven't told me. I have no idea what I supposedly violated or what I used this account for. It's nothing that I haven't been using PayPal for in the past. There's nothing criminal or anything crazy going on. It's just that I've been taken down. Now, some people, of course, want to go to, maybe it's political. I don't know. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend that I know. I know various people have been taken off of PayPal for unexplained, inexplicable reasons. And it seems that sometimes it has not led to political reasons at all. It's just PayPal decided to, bam, and good luck. And that has been my biggest issue with stuff like this is that, look, at minimum, you need to tell me what the hell we did wrong. There's a lot of money that is at stake. And my lawyers, I've already messaged them on this. We'll reconvene on Monday to see where contractually they jacked up. And that's when you start to get answers and when you have to get the suits involved. Now, for me, this doesn't hurt me that much at all. Is it inconvenient? Yes, mainly because we're on the closing stages of the new website for the comic book company. And now we have to kind of pivot on that. So it's an inconvenience. However, this isn't the only processing company that we use, that we can use, that we've used in the past, that we'll continue to use. So it's not like that's a problem for us. But some people definitely with refund policy and an added layer of security, a lot of people use PayPal. So really that's the only reason why I have used it is because other people use it as their primary processing deal. So really that's all that it means. If this stands or we have to go through this long extended period of time with suits being involved, and even then I'm like, do I really want to use PayPal? So just because of the inconvenience, it's like, this is so stupid. And the fact that you have a situation where you won't even tell anybody, you do this to various people and lots of money is at stake and you freeze a lot of people's money and they can't get control of it as this is being sort of resolved. Like, that's bull crap. And the fact you won't even tell people why that is a fundamental issue. And, is that a company that you want to be supporting? So even if they turn back and say, well, it was an error or something, do I really want to use it? Really, it's for you guys. So for you guys that were members of the website, I got like a long bunch of emails from PayPal basically saying that none of you guys' accounts that are subscribed, which replaced my Patreon, that were subscribed to airdjuly.com, you're going to have to, for right now, what you can do is use your own, use your credit card like we still have those various deals. But for those of you that were using PayPal, that payment is not going to go through, and that means that your access to the website may be limited. I already messaged my website team, and they'll be looking into that to see how we can kind of figure that out, with obviously you guys not being gypped out of a month. We want to make sure that we resolve that, but going into the future, you probably will just have to use your just credit card and just sign up or debit or whatever, because PayPal, we don't, that will no longer be available for you. Let's say that. I'm getting that worked on. So that's what it means for them. As far as the website that's not even out yet, like with the Riververse stuff, that basically just be prepared to not use PayPal as your primary processing. Use your cards or whatever. I have as many different other payment options for you guys. Like with Amazon, you have Google Pay, all of that stuff will still be available, but it looks like PayPal simply will just not be one of those. But to be fair, those have less processing fees anyway, and they're instantaneous. So, to me, they're more preferable anyway. It just goes to show, man, why independence is such a important thing. Like, imagine if I was a person that completely relied for all of my source of income on PayPal. How emotionally distraught that I would be, how jacked up I could be because of that. The reason why I'm like, yeah, I got banned and it sucks, and yeah, where am I? I'm more so looking at like, hell, can I get y'all for violating a contract? Then y'all paying me? Then absolutely, I'm going to try to do that. But as far as like it just doesn't hurt me that much. It may hurt the bottom line just a little bit for those that, and they're out there. It may not be you guys, but there are some people out there, they just won't use anything other than PayPal. So my personal account, I still have, to my knowledge, I haven't logged into it yet. So I have to look at that. So my personal account seems to be maybe all right, but this was for my business account, and we had lots of plans for this one, and we had been using it before. So it kicked me off though. But there's plenty of other processors that we can use. This is more for you guys. And just as a lesson to always diversify. There are various processors out there. PayPal may be one of the dominant ones, but it ain't the only one. And definitely with the ideas of crypto and stuff, you guys have options there. Now, I don't know if that stuff is going to be ready, if I'm going to have like some sort of Lightning Bitcoin type of situation. That's all technical. More than anything is having that sync up with like the campaigns and all of that. That may be an issue, and I don't know if that technology is ready for that. But we'll be having as many. This is how I want it, and this is the benefit of me doing it myself instead of running it through like a third party. Hell, to be fair, I don't think Indiegogo even allows you guys to use PayPal. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's one of the big criticisms of it, which I'm not using Indiegogo or anything, but you guys that are used to like crowdfunding efforts, though we're not crowdfunding, but that kind of campaign method y'all weren't using. If you were using Indiegogo, you were using PayPal anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's no change to you. But there's options, man. There's options. Always diversify, because at any given moment, I think this is the problem with these policies, man, and them being so vague with it, and more so they have it built in, and definitely because they have such a big, like, their bottom lines will go unimpacted for the most part, because little old me is not funding them anymore. It would have to be a large scale defunding for them to want to change their policy. But that's why they can get away with such vagueness. And they're not the only company with a policy as such, where this like, hey, here's some, like, imagine that. You're not going to tell me why. We're looking at this. They don't tell me why. And also, when I message them, ask PayPal, this is what I got here. Like, this is what they responded to. Ask PayPal official blue check mark Twitter. Thank you for taking the time to send us a DM, because they told me to DM them when I made a public post. I'm sorry to hear that your account has been permanently limited. Based on your screenshot, it appears this happened due to a violation of our acceptable use policy, and then he links me to the policy. That does not help me. I can understand your frustration if you feel there hasn't been a violation. It sounds like you've already requested this to be further investigated. Yes, I did. But I've escalated the matter on my end as well to ensure the correct set of eyes takes a look at this. This may take a few days, but once the review has been completed, you should receive an update. You should receive an update via email. It's just crazy how they have all these guys working for them, and people that I speak on digitally and people that I speak to over the phone, nobody can tell me how I actually violated a policy. It's just that, well, this is why they did it. This is why your account was linked. Okay, I get that. Tell me what specifically was done that led to such a limited account. Like, what did I do? And they can't tell me because I know for a fact that I've not done anything incorrect or wrong. But this is what it is, man. So just be prepared for you guys that are just staunch. I mainly use PayPal. Maybe it's for a security reason or whatever. I get you. But for a lot of our goods, we will not be, or like stuff that we will be selling, you will not be able to use that if this stands. But very, very great business practices these guys have over there at PayPal, where they can just freeze money, limit your account, and say that you violated a policy without telling you how exactly that you did it. And then on top of that, because they're not telling you why they did it, on top of that, these fools open internal tickets so they can discuss among themselves without you being involved to see if, okay, did we actually make a mistake? It'll probably come back. It'll be one of those like government situations. We have investigated ourselves and found no wrongdoing. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm not going to lose sleep over this, but I just wanted to update you guys. PayPal and the great business practices that they have.